are landing on Cryptex land. Get off the ship and take a walk. Take any guitar and start your own band. Here you can sing, here you can talk, here you can say whatever you want. Here you can stay, become a mutant. Just try to be nice. For hate there is no space. Don't skate on thin ice. You better not run that race. The race of the trolls, the race of the hate. I will show you the rules. Don't hate but create. You are landing on Cryptex land. Get off the ship and take a walk. Take any guitar and start your own band. Here you can sing, here you can talk, here you can say whatever you want. Here you can stay, become a mutant. Just try to be nice. For hate there is no space. Don't skate on thin ice. You better not run that race. The race of the trolls, the race of the hate. I will show you the rules. Don't hate, but create. The race of the trolls, the race of the hate. I will show you the pose. Don't hate, but create.
Hello guys, how are you? Let me know please if my sound is good. Hello Sub Rosa, good to see you. Today I'm gonna play the interview that the channel Case by Case made to, or the interview that I think the girl is, her name is Amy. The interview she did to Ricci Davis. I think it's a very important document, and I just want to play it. I watched it one time. It was really interesting. I found that Ricci Davis was really genuine. What he was told by Ron Logan and by Klein makes sense to me. I don't know if that were lies or that was a truth, but makes sense. So we're gonna talk about that. I think that Ricci Davis, he was very emotional, which is not the usual scenario for pathological liars. When you see, for example, Keegan or other liars, this guy, he had like a different behavior, let's say, a different pattern. To me, he was sincere, he was genuine, so I believe him, honestly. When I listen to him, I believe him. He doesn't seem to be like a calculator guy, let's say, and he doesn't seem to push any narrative. He even says, don't believe him, just keep asking questions. Please investigate this properly. Anyways, yeah, Azul Rosa. We know that the murder sheet is the media weapon of the state. So of course they're gonna talk shit about Ricci Davis. But I don't know if you already heard, listened to the interview that Case by Case made to Ricci Davis. Again, to me, I believe him. He's not talking shit, in my opinion. I may be wrong, and that's why I want to I want to play the interview, and I want to see what are your thoughts about that here. Karen, thank you so much for the comment. Sound is good, excellent. There were also like a very important pieces of information, in my opinion. At one point, he was talking about Keegan Klein and what Keegan said about the sticks. It was something about witchcraft, which I found very interesting. Maybe it's bullshit, maybe not, but again, I found it really, really interesting. I don't know if the sound is gonna be good because Amy was talking to Ricci Davis by phone, and the sound is already not very good in her channel. So I activated the closed caption option, which is not great again, but let's see how it's gonna be here, guys. So I'm just gonna play and the interview, and let's talk about that. I hope the sound is gonna be good. I hope we can understand what he's talking about. Let me know in the chat, guys, if you can understand properly what he's talking about. So I'm just gonna play it, no more protocol, and let's go with this.
That was magic.
Yeah.
Wow. Thank you, Michael.
Thank my bit bucket.
That's awesome. That is definitely awesome.
This is a recorded conversation.
Yeah. Yes.
So, well, I kind of explained to them what we talked about today, and
Sure.
how I explained to you what Nick said in his filing about that he only got the 2 letters. He didn't get, that's all that he could say that he tracked down. He did not include anything from Keegan. And of course, he says that you're not telling the truth. So I'll let you, if you can talk as loud as you possibly can, I'll let you speak.
It seems like I need to.
Yes, I'll let you speak to everybody about that. There's about 300 people in chat right now. So they're all listening.
That's fine.
They're all listening.
Okay. Well, we'll go probably about 2 months before the jury trial of Richard Allen. He was to begin with. I also was under the impression that was Richard Allen, as probably as many people. I don't know. It was that's what I've been relayed the information to from Keegan Klein. Of course, we had about 8 conversations. I would say, face-to-face exchanges. He wasn't comfortable with, my roommates and stuff being awake through these conversations, so he felt better at times. He was a little bit paranoid, so he would, and I would just save the letters up. Some of the stuff, it just didn't seem, it just seemed really odd, because for somebody to come out and give details, that's unusual. Okay. And, these letters that I was getting, I was, saving them up. I was, writing, starting probably 2 months before the trial. I was writing to the prosecutor. I was letting him know, hold on, I want to at least talk to you face to face to be able to get this information, at least hear, what all was going on. Because that could change the facts of the case, and I didn't know which way, it would have changed the facts to. I was just, pretty much handing the information over. Now I've already been through this once, and starting with Rob Logan, so I wasn't receiving a response. I continued to push the information. You can just drop it in here through the door, sir. Oh, I gotta sign it. Oh my goodness, man! Hold on.
Okay.
The officer, real quick.
Can everybody hear him okay?
So here he's talking to
I can
the
hear him. He's
correctional officer for a couple of seconds, and he's gonna come back.
You have a pen on you? I mean, I do
probably gonna
somewhere.
ask you to sign something and not give you a fucking pen. Sorry.
So right now he's signing some paper with the correctional officer. So he's gonna come back in a couple of seconds.
Yeah, 125. Okay. Thank you. Hey, I appreciate you. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, hey, I appreciate you. Okay, thank you. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm sorry, everybody.
It's okay.
Okay, so okay, okay, to go where
You said that you were.
Forwarding the letters
Mhm.
to the prosecutor. You know, I continued to send them to him, and probably in about 3 letters or so. He didn't. Through the course of everything, he never responded whatsoever. I figured right before the trial that he would at least, come and at least see what I had to say. Now, you have Keegan. He was coming and talking to me through the course of the trial, and about 3 days before the trial, okay, Keegan came up to my cell door where he was telling me, he was like, hey, he was like, it sounds like with all, he's not going to be able to walk. That he's going to be found guilty. He said, I'm just telling you that it was him there. He said it really wasn't. He said, I think I'm good to go. He said, what do you think? And it was really hard to bite my tongue because there's been a lot of different things back and forth with people. And I said, yeah, I think you're good to go, man. I think you're safe. And I started crying. I was like, man, dude, this dude just got found. I mean, pretty much didn't get a fair trial. And I wrote to the prosecutor, and I was just like, hey, man, dude, what is going on? And through the whole process, I realized that all the information I was giving him, he was using against Richard Allen.
I sincerely think that this guy is very emotional, and he's telling the truth. I wouldn't doubt anything about his testimony. I don't know if what he was told by Ron Logan and Keegan Klein was a lie or not, but when I listen to this guy, I think he's telling the truth. He's very emotional.
And I kind of exploded on him over it. I was just like, man, dude, what is, all this in 2017 this was the same information that I started handing over from the beginning all the way up to the current, and I just didn't understand, what was on his mind. I'm just like, dude, this is foul play. Now I knew it wasn't Richard Allen all along, and it crushed my heart. I really thought, from the bottom of my heart, I really thought he was guilty up to this point. And when the information came out, when the files were released, and Andy Baldwin came up to see me, I mean, he came to see me. At first, I wasn't willing to work with him because I really didn't know, if he was guilty or not. I mean, you could ask Andy. I just wasn't comfortable with it. I said, man, I wasn't some predator out. That's just not who I am. And I just wasn't going to do it. Released later on was that the information.
He says several times that I'm not a predator. You can see that he despises the pedophiles. He doesn't like the child molesters at all. So that's important in my opinion. And he talks about his family, about his daughters. So that's a good point here.
That they used, through the whole trial, that it was true after all. And I was just like,
about your comment, Subrosa. I don't believe anything Keegan says, though. Well, I think there's a pattern. When Keegan goes to the media, in my opinion, he's mostly lying because he's not gonna say that he was involved in the murders when he goes to the news or to the media outside. So of course he's not gonna uh, he's gonna lie. He's gonna lie when he goes out to talk to the media. But when he's talking to another inmate, in my opinion, he may say the truth because he's not in a position to not to have any benefit for him. So there's a pattern. We can see when he's lying, when he's not lying. It's just my opinion. When he was talking to this guy, to Ricci Davis, he should be saying the truth. I don't know. I'm just speculating. But when he goes to the news, it's not in his benefit to tell the truth. So he most probably will tell a lie. I'm just thinking at the same time I'm reading your comment, but maybe I'm gonna change my mind later. So let's continue with the interview here.
And it just, I mean, the stuff with the lie detectors test, the questions, I'm sorry, was somebody talking?
No. Go ahead.
Okay, the questions were asked. They don't have the questions. They don't have the videotape. There was a really huge, video recorder in my face. Now I'm in a foot from my face. They told me before I went in, hey, you're going to be tape recorded and the audio is going to be on. Are you fine with that? I said, yeah, I'm fine with that. I don't have a problem with that. And dude, I went in there, and now they're denying, both of them. Now them are missing too.
Well, what he said exactly was he doesn't have it in his possession. That's kind of a slight way of denying. He's not saying that it doesn't exist. He's saying he doesn't have it.
Well, sure, then go get it. You're the prosecutor. You have access to all this.
That's a good point, Annalisette. I think I'm gonna read your comments. Ricky sounds that like he believes what he says, but quite a bit of his information doesn't fit the evidence. I agree, but when we think about Richard Allen, most of the things he said or he confessed doesn't fit the evidence at all. So it's the same thing here. So why would you trust the confession of Richard Allen, and why wouldn't you trust the confessions of Keegan and Ron Logan in this case? It doesn't fit the evidence in one case, and it doesn't fit the evidence in the other case. So I don't know. At least this guy sounds credible, in my opinion. I don't know. From the TD21, how are you, guy? How are you, man? VIP subscriber from Australia. Rick had literally nothing to do with this crime. I don't know. I think he's involved. This is my theory at this point, and this is because of the search of the Wabash River. You know my opinion about that, but I'm not gonna push that narrative tonight. Tonight we're gonna listen to the interview of Ricci Davis. Annalisette. Inmates have a lot of time to create stories and share them. Yeah, but what about the box cutter? Yeah, that doesn't sound like a story that was created from nothing, So some things are really interesting here. We're gonna listen to something that Keegan Klein told Ricci Davis about the sticks related to witchcraft. Maybe it's a bullshit, but I found that interesting. Hey, Ruckus is here. Hey, how are you, Ruckus, man? Happy to have you here. I'm already picturing your face when listening to this interview, but that's okay, man. I love you, Ruckus. Sarah, okay, let's just continue with the interview here, guys.
Talk louder. Talk louder.
No, I'm just saying he's the prosecutor. He has every right to go get what he wants to get. All this, I don't have it, and I don't, all this other stuff. I mean, that's ridiculous. I mean, it's all in the pudding. Prove it. Prove that I didn't pass that test. Prove that they never even asked me questions. They did not even allow me to even tell them what happened the entire time. Not once I had to have a confirmation, or not confirmation, but a conversation man to man. With the guy that came up. There was only one officer. He came up, and I didn't even have to have. There was no conversation. Every time I began to speak, he said, "Hold on." He said, "No, I got a better idea," and he limited me to 3 paragraphs. That I'd be able to write. And I was just like. Then he said, "Well, what you're under. You're going to be under oath that you will be charged if." You're not honest. I asked him a question. I said, well, okay, that's fine. But are you talking about the information that they gave me, or the information that, pretty much I'm saying what they spoke to me? He said, no, just do the best you can. And just left it all ambiguous and had me in an uproar. Like, man, I don't want to be held to the account of what somebody told me, and it's like, to be able to jam everything in 3 paragraphs and being told to stop in the middle of writing. I mean, if you look, I mean, it may be an incomplete sentence at the end. He said, "Oh, stop there. That's fine." And it got to the point where I said, "You know what? I tell you what, man. We'll just end all this. Just do me a favor." I said, "Send me in with a device that I could be able to talk to him, and you could probably case this closed today." And he looked at the other guy, and he just kind of shook his head. And he said, "That's not going to be necessary." My mouth drops. I'm just like, thinking, like, what kind of investigation? What kind of investigation is that? You are an officer that could close this case today.
I agree with Ruckus. This guy speaks in a very proper way. Let's say he's like very educated. I was surprised too in that sense. It's incredible. I was surprised for real.
If you just send me and allow me to go in, that's why he's not releasing that tape. That's why he don't want to release that recording device, because that would show right there the negligence of the investigation itself. That it would. I mean, everything that they're holding on to would pretty much solidify of everything I've said from the beginning. They know that. I know that. That's what I'm saying. People need to. I'm not asking anybody to believe me. That's why from the beginning I said, make demands for this evidence. It's there. They can say what they want, but it's there. How would I know if they really have it or not? And taking the chance of sitting there saying, oh, and turn around and be like, oh, we have it after all. Here, look, he's a liar. I didn't know that. I don't know. And they're not releasing it because it will prove that I'm not the liar. He is. I'm not going to sit there and face off with the DA sitting here calling him a liar. If I'm sitting here lying, what do I look like?
I really like what he's saying right now. He's not pushing any narrative here. He's saying, this is what I was told. You don't have to believe in this thing. Just do a proper investigation. You don't have to believe me. Just keep asking questions. And it's pretty much what I do. Keep asking questions. So I really like that. He's not pushing anything. He says, this is what I was told. Do your investigation, guys.
It's just, he knows. He knows exactly how all this went. He knows the negligence of the investigation. He knows what I'm saying is true, and that he's swatting at flies here. He don't know what to do. He's trying to figure himself out. And I mean, he's using information from a child predator, a child killer, saying, "Oh, well, that can't be true because this guy that was before not credible, now he's credible." You know, now I want to use his information to solidify what I'm telling you. That don't make no sense.
Well,
You know, you don't have anything else.
Can you, by the way, everybody's dropping messages in here telling you thank you for speaking out, and people are praying for you, and
Sure enough.
they think that you're doing the right thing. So I told you, you have a lot of people who believe in you.
I think
Sherry
you're a
Sykes,
badass.
thank you so much. Sherry Sykes, thank you so much.
Who is that, Sherry?
No, this is someone in the chat.
This is a good point from Analysette, and I don't know if I'm reading your comment properly or not, but at one point he offered to wear a wire to record the confessions of those guys, and they didn't want to do that. Remember, for example, here in Canada, we have Robert Picton. There was this guy talking to him inside the cell, and they recorded his confession. Why we are not doing here with Ron Logan and Keegan Klein when this guy is offering to wear a wire to record the confessions of those guys? I don't understand that. That's fishy, in my opinion, because it's not in the benefit of the state narrative. So let's continue here. And sorry again, this is an indication that this guy is solid and it's credible, in my opinion. Again.
Yes, I will put that on. Someone put money on here for your commentary. So,
hey, since all of this is, can he hear me?
No.
Can he hear me?
Can you hear her? Can you hear her?
I hear somebody vaguely.
Okay.
Ask him if since all of this has happened, have you talked to anyone named Dr. Monica Walla? She's a prison psychiatrist. Have you ever talked to her?
I don't know.
Dr. Monica Walla.
No. I'm not sure if I have or not.
Okay.
No, I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Will you be?
Is she from mental health, maybe?
Yeah, she's from mental health. She would be in mental health.
Okay. Well, yeah, I'm still not sure, but okay.
Well, if you ever come across that name, let me know. Okay. I know you don't know who that is, but just if you ever come across the name, let me know.
Okay. Good enough.
Now, if we get cut off, because you're going to get cut off, you can call me right back. But do you want to start?
Sure.
Do you want to start to discuss with them what was like? You don't have to go into the details. As far, we'll get into a couple of things, but I want you to discuss with them your personal impression of Logan and Keegan and why you feel so strongly about them being involved and that what they told you was true. Why do you feel so strongly about it?
Well, you know, speaking of Ron Logan, I mean, he actually came off as a real meek, mild, almost like a grandpa. I mean, at first, that's the first impression that he struck me with. You know, when I met him, he was really nervous. You could tell he hadn't been in the environment. I'm the type of person, I didn't know who he was. You know, I'm the type of person when I see somebody like that, especially an older gentleman, I went up and offered him some coffee, made him some coffee. I was like, hey, you doing good? And he was like, oh, and he asked me about a kiosk to set up an account to read his letters and stuff like that, to check his commissary, stuff like that, and that nature. So I went and helped him to set up his passcode and that kind of nature thing. And it was really odd because in the middle of helping him do this, he looked, I seen him stare upside of my face. He was like, you don't know who I am, are you? Or do you? I was like, and I thought it was just a weird question. I kind of looked over at him and said, like, no, who are you? He said, oh, I'm that property owner in Delphi, the guy that's been on TV. And I'm like, I'm just looking at him. I just felt really odd, like, okay, yeah. And I said, okay, you know, and I don't judge people, you know, if I don't know what's going on. It's like, how do you feel about that? You know, and so, you know, we began a little bit of small talk at first, okay, and he just seemed mild mannered, you know, and he really didn't take to nobody but me. You know, I told him, I said, man, just just stay out people's business around here, kind of telling, you know, and he just seemed real mild, you know, and he didn't seem like that type of guy at all. Well, until, you know, later on as we got into conversations, you know, same thing with Keegan. He's really, his seems kind of really soft. You know, don't seem like that type of person either whatsoever at all. You know, but there's something about the nature of people like that that there's just something in them that, you know, when it comes to them type of things coming out, you know, it's a whole different demon comes out. You know, I don't think people that, you know, do things like that have a certain type of face. You know,
you have 1 minute remaining.
You want to call me back?
Kind of learned.
He's gonna come back. Just to say that, and thank you, Mario. You were the one telling me this information. I was checking on the Noise channel tonight, this afternoon. Coach Cruz is the way he called himself today, I think. So, as you know, guys, Noe, he was in prison with Keegan Klein at one point, and he was telling us that Keegan told him that Ron Logan was a family friend, or that he told Holly, wife Lilith, that Ron Logan was a family friend of the Kleins. So that was interesting. It's in the Noise channel. The testimony I think is it's an interesting testimony, because he was in prison with Keegan for a while. He knows him well because of that, and he was telling that according to him, the voice or the sound guys down the hill, the guys part comes from Keegan. That was just a parenthesis here. Let's come back to the interview with Ricci Davis.
That, you know,
Mhm.
sure.
Yeah. Hang up and call me back.
All right.
You're fine. Okay. Bye. Thank you. Thank you, D.
Okay, I'm convinced we need to start
Okay,
a
he's-
campaign.
That's a good point, Rokus. And actually, I think that he's putting himself in a bad situation, because he's snitching on Keegan on another prisoner. So he's not in a good place when he's doing that. So it's a good point, Rokus.
To get Ricci out of prison because that dude is cool and I don't want him there. So we need to figure out a way to get Ricci out of prison.
You know, the thing that's so frustrating about his case is the fact that when he picked up the phone and called the police on himself because he was high and he knew he needed help, his life would have gone in a completely different direction if he would have picked up the phone and called a rehab.
Yeah, poor guy. Yeah, fuck. And of course, the cops took advantage of that and just threw the book at him. What a bunch of dicks.
You guys, thank you so much for all of the super chats and things. I really appreciate it. It will help. You know, it is, these phone calls do get expensive, and
are you seeing what Julie
the
Belmer's saying about Kurtz? What she said?
No, I'm not. I didn't see that.
He's
So she
coming back
said
in
that
a
the night
while.
before the
They're calling
verdict,
him
someone
again.
came up to her and told her that they thought Ron Logan did it with Mark Kurtz.
With Mark Kurtz or Garrett Kurtz?
Mark Kurtz. M. Kurtz.
Mm.
Good old Marky Mark.
Well,
and she said she never heard of Kurtz until he said his son murdered 2 people. I don't fucking know.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. To me, it just seemed completely outrageous to me that Keegan Klein would have been running the Anthony Shots account, in contact with Libby, then telling people after this happened, oh yeah, I was supposed to meet her, but she didn't show up, and he not be involved in any way. That is insane to me. And um, I mean,
I agree,
like I said,
100%.
all of this comes together.
And
I mean,
obviously, someone thought he was involved because there was no information on this case for a long time. When Keegan Klein's information came out, we were in a black hole of information. And then they, on a Monday night at 10 o'clock, they released some weird statement saying that Anthony Shots, and they used the Abby and Libby tip line number as the tip line. So they
Yeah.
thought he was involved.
Yeah, Reese, do you want to, will you talk to them about, and talk louder? I'm going to make sure everybody can
He's
hear.
back.
Can you talk to them, about, the things that Keegan told you about what you called the back page, child porn, and him and his dad?
Sure. Yeah. Okay. You know what he was telling me was that him and his dad would have this. Well, I've been in prison for a long time, so I'm not familiar.
No, he's not gonna be happy about this. He's gonna talk about Keegan Klein and the involvement of Tony Klein as well in this case.
So I mean, with a lot of this, so kind of bear with me. It sounds like I get something wrong here, but that they were getting these burner phones, okay, and they were selling them off, to certain people for information to like Ron Logan, things in that nature, that they were sending them different clips and footages and pictures and videos and stuff in that nature, okay, and they would like deliver them to people like Ron Logan, because Ron Logan did not know how to operate these type of phones. I guess it's because he was an old school nature, so they would go out and meet with him every, 3 to 6 months and change out the phones, get rid of the old phones, give him new phones, and help him set up his phone, his burner phones, because like I said, he didn't know how to do that kind of thing. So that was kind of a little thing that they had going on. I don't know really much more about what they were doing with it. It was just a little operation. He said that he had a couple handfuls of people that he would do this with, and so he probably
Ron Logan,
specified on the people that I knew.
So Ron Logan was like a customer of Keegan.
Yeah, Ron Logan was a customer, and they became friendly when Keegan had to meet with him to show him how to work the burner phone. And then will you tell them about?
I don't know, guys, if this is truth or this is a lie, but the pieces snag together, in my opinion. So Keegan being the mastermind of this situation, distributing burner phones to different people in that area, potentially Allen, potentially Ron Logan, who was the owner of that property. It makes sense, in my opinion. I don't know. I don't know. It makes sense.
About the falling out with Keegan and his dad, like during.
And again, the only thing that makes me think that there's a connection between the clients and Richard Allen is the search of the Wabash River. My thinking, my theory. So it makes sense. I'm not saying that's the actual scenario, but it makes sense to me.
When the police came and what Keegan was saying about why him and his dad fell out.
Well, his dad and himself, okay, was obviously doing these things together with these phones. When stuff got hot, they kind of had some kind of falling out, some kind of argument. Kind of was under the impression.
You have 1 minute remaining.
How's
I
that?
don't know what that is.
You have 60 seconds remaining.
Why is
I have
that?
no idea. Let me call you right back. I don't know. Money's on there, so.
Yeah,
just give me-
double check it because I put it on there. Okay, call me right back.
No, I know it's on it. Okay.
Okay, bye. I'm wondering if that's their way of interfering because he has got plenty of money on there to call.
I was gonna say I got my credit card in
I'll
my
tell
back
you, I'll-
pocket. I'll put money on there right now. Fuck them bitches.
Well, they just switched over to this new app system and it's not completely working. But then again, I don't know if someone's running interference.
I think that what this channel Case by Case did was awesome. Having Ricci Davis on the phone in public is it's really awesome. That's great because the only thing we knew or the perception was from Nick McClelland that this guy is a liar because he failed the polygraph in a miserable way. And we can hear this guy, and to me, he sounds really credible, really solid. He's gonna come back in a couple of seconds.
Interference or if it's just the app not working. So, but what he did say was that he asked me, he said, did Keegan's dad let the police into their house or was there a search warrant? He said, I really don't know what he was saying, but he said that Keegan got mad at his dad because, Dee just said, I hope no one reported him for making a three-way call.
It's a recording. He's not live. It's a recording. So whoever's reporting him, snitches get stitches, dumb bitches.
He said that Tony Klein and him got into it after the fact because the phones that the police took, some of them his dad had been using, and his dad pointed them out like, yeah, those are his phones. And but then they kind of mended fences a little bit because he said that his dad was covering for him when he got arrested. That he was getting rid of stuff and hiding stuff for him. And then Ricci also said that there's somebody else in Lafayette that was a big part of this ring because Keegan kept trying to get Ricci. He wanted to give Ricci letters to mail to someone in Lafayette, and Ricci wouldn't do it. But whoever was in Lafayette was also like behind the scenes trying to get rid of stuff. This is what he was told.
Was he a dentist?
Yeah.
I'm just joking.
I think that
He's
the
back.
truth or falsity of any of the stuff and what Keegan Klein said is at least, yes, getting to the truth of the matter is would be a good thing. But and I know the prof is he's actually said he doesn't care about Rick Allen. I pretty much only care about Rick Allen and being reasonably certain that he absolutely had nothing to do with this. And I just wanted to say that, yeah, sometimes justice follows truth, and getting to the bottom of it will set Rick free, almost for sure. But sometimes truth follows justice, and whatever the truth or falsity of what Keegan Klein has had to say and what Ron Logan had to say while he was still alive are important for the effort to get Rick out.
It feels like that Dropbox would be important.
Yeah, and the Dropbox just completely fell off the face of the earth. That Keegan and them were using. So Ricci's back on here. Are you there? So can you, okay, let me see, what else did we talk about today? Do you want to tell everybody why, this, Keegan and Ron Logan could have ran into anybody in there. However, they both happened to run into you at different times. But if this information would have went to someone else in there, we may not have this information today. Somebody else could have, just whatever with it. Can you tell them why it's important to you that you stepped out of the box and put yourself out there? Why that's important to you? Take a deep breath.
Well, I'm fine. Yeah, I'm fine. I believe it's just that, I'm a father as well. I love my children. I love them with all my heart, and I couldn't imagine.
I love this part. He's talking about his children. He's very emotional at this point. That was what made me think that he's already credible and solid.
In a million years, okay, if I was in the predicament to where, where this was going on and nobody would speak up, I had to kind of set my pride down because, this is something that is crucial. This is something that it's not about me. It's not about, who believes who at this point. I mean, yeah, okay, that's relevant to a degree, but right now, it's people need to focus on them girls. People need to focus on the justice for them girls. I don't think anybody should walk into this believing anybody off the jump. I believe that no matter who deals with who, that you should keep an open mind, because you do, obviously, from what I've learned and what I've been discovering through this whole thing, is you got a lot of opposition, and there's just been a lot of people stepping up to the plate for the wrong reasons. And I just, I've been a victim of sexual abuse growing up, a lot of it, and I just know how it is to be that one that, that don't have a voice. Them girls went through some serious brutality, and it's like, people are making a mockery of this, and it's pissed me off so bad. It's broke my heart. It's crushed me, and I don't know what the reasons are. People have tried to step up to the plate. I'm not going to act like I do know, but I came into this asking for absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. I wanted them girls to finally get what they deserve. I never expected anybody to believe me. I still don't. But I believe people should be open-minded and ask for answers. That's all I've asked for. Ask for answers. I am somebody that has a bad past of, drug history, and that inherits automatically, addictive behaviors. I get that, and that's why I never expected anybody just to believe me, ever. Matter of fact, I expected pretty much what I got, so far through this, but that's why I'm asking people, follow the evidence, ask for answers, seek it, make demands, rattle the chains. Don't give up, because this isn't about nothing. This isn't about even the prosecutor. This isn't about me and what I'm saying. This is about seeking the truth. The evidence out there speaks for itself. That's why I've said from the.
Guys, this guy sounds really credible. It's like it's me who's talking here. He's saying the same thing I say, and maybe you say too, guys. Keep asking questions, ask for answers. I love what he says.
Very beginning. Don't even take my word. Ask for answers. Because there's just so much going on. I want people to really see that there's a whole lot going on that just don't smell right. And I've been sensing that since 2017, after the murders of the kids. I've been dealing with this. I've been pushed, suppressed. I've been, kept where, I just really, where it didn't matter what I said. I've had a lot of nights just crying in tears because I'm not saying I still know what happened. I wasn't there. I didn't. I'm not. I wasn't there when it happened. When these crimes were committed. I have no idea what happened, but I do know what two men told me. And does it make it facts? No, it absolutely don't even make it facts. But I think it's really strange that two people would have two, like, just two of the same stories. And some of it changed, but it was just more of trying to, throw the blame on the other person. Well, that part wasn't me. So that's the only thing that's changed. My story's never changed from the beginning. Now, there has been the information that I've learned along the way that has actually would have changed the narrative to degrees, but anything I've ever said from the beginning has been the same. And anything I've ever said will never change. They will never catch me up in a situation where, oh, you said this, now why is this? That can't happen because I've stuck to the roots of, my belief, and that is justice for the girls. That's all I want,
And
I don't
you,
want, no, I don't want.
And you did, after Keegan admitted to you that Rick Allen wasn't involved, you did contact Nick McClellan again and told him that.
1,000%. I mean, he can call me a liar all he wants, but he is lying. He is the liar. I have no reason to lie here. Here's the thing. He's saying, well, he was very dishonest. Well, about what? Tell people what I was dishonest about.
I mean, we are not stupid guys. We can see when someone is solid, when someone is credible or not. This guy is super solid, super credible, for real.
Because the funny thing is I was never asked any questions. Tell people where I was dishonest. Don't just submit to people. He was very dishonest. He felt this miserable. What did I feel? What did I feel? You can't answer that. It's just you're just trying to throw a bone out there. Hey, guys, I'm a honorable man. People are miserable. If you buy into that, okay, so be it. But that's not the case here. He can't be honest. Because everything that I've said has been true through this whole thing. And what do I have to gain? What do I have to gain here? Here's the thing. I'm in prison, okay? And coming out doing what I'm doing, don't only have me in a little dog cage for God knows how long, taking the place of Richard Allen pretty much by trying to do the right thing. But it also has me to where if I step back on population, I'm going to get my throat slit myself. I put myself in a bad situation, but you know what? It's worth it. I'm taking the chance, but I still ask for nothing out of it. There's nothing to gain here. I have more to lose than to gain. It just don't make any sense to act like that. I have some kind of, it's just, it don't make sense. And he knows he's not making sense. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to make sense out of it. I don't know what to think right now. My brain's scattered.
Well, let's switch gears a little bit and
sure.
You how about, I think it's kind of since this was in the original filing, motion to correct error from the defense, what you initially wrote out in your statement. Do you want? I think it's an interesting, compelling story way that Ron Logan described to you how he encountered the girls that day. What was like what he did, and passing them, and then you want
to. Karen, maybe he's guilty in some extent. I don't know if he was the murderer, if he was involved, or if he was just there cleaning, or maybe he was not even involved. I don't know. But when you say that this guess is funny, that guy is not funny at all. This guy is so solid, for real.
tell that story?
In my opinion.
Sure. Yeah, okay. Well, had Keegan Klein, him and this third individual, and I don't know if there was really a third individual, at all. They both said there was. I don't know, but I'm just going to, name him as his partner. But Keegan dropped them off somewhere at the beginning of the trail and drove all the way back to Ron's property somewhere in the location. And he wanted to get a vehicle outside, as far as what, okay, so I know that, once he got there, he walked from Ron's property back to the woods, meeting them, back to the woods. And when Ron ran into the girls, they were standing offside the bridge, looking down in the ravine, and there was something to do with rabbits. Okay, it caught his attention. So him and his friend, approached the girls, said, "Oh, he's got animals, and he's got rabbits and stuff. You want to come and check him out?" And the girls didn't say anything, looked at him, exposed, and just kind of walked away and walked up on the bridge. So they both walked away. They decided that whoever this other individual is would stay back, and Ron tried to give it another approach, but he was kind of doing laps. He didn't walk up. He told me, he said, "Man, I was getting nervous," because he could tell that they were nervous. He said that they were halfway on the bridge, and that he didn't want to, that he really didn't want to approach him, but his friend or whatever kept saying, "Man, just go." So when he went to go approach him again, and I don't know how many laps he did, that he was going around kind of in circles. I guess it spooked him, and he said, "Just go get him." So he went up on the bridge, and he approached him, and what exactly from that point, I mean, I'm not sure, what it be, but
Logan admitted to you that he was the man in the image.
Oh yeah. I mean, he sat here and lost weight and everything. He's like, "Man, this really look like me." This is, people got to know that this conversation didn't take 2 or 3 conversations. Him and I talked every single day, and that's what I told the officer when also I was like, "Man, look, he's gonna." I mean, he just had a weirdness about the case and talking about it, and so that's why. I mean, I'm not trying to jump subjects, but I mean, it was. Yeah, every day it was the same repetitive. He was telling me that, "Man, I'm going to, do you think I'm losing weight? Do you think I'm losing weight? Do you think they're going to come and get me? Things of that nature."
And you want to tell them what he was worried about, why he was in there with you, about the evidence?
Well, there was several things with the evidence that officers were told about, and that was 2 sets of handcuffs, and that was also some clothes and some boots that were burned. They're near the property. So
can you describe? I'm sorry. Will you describe for them?
I'm sorry.
Will you describe for them where he told you he burned it?
He said, they're off the property. They're off the property. He said, and that could have been any direction. He said that he had a couple wood, or not wood piles, but a couple fire, places. I guess where he burnt stuff. He said, "Man, it's over the way." That was over the way. And I was just kind of like, kind of trying to calculate what he was saying, and I was taking notes every day. You know what I mean? Because I knew what my intentions were reporting this. I wanted to wait till it just seemed to where I had enough to where that it would be relevant. You know what I mean? If I made a contact.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And I'm gonna let you bring this up because it was some of it was in your letter, because I've not told you, I've not given you details about the thing, stuff that was at trial, none of that. And I've tried to keep everything under wraps. for the sake of, for your sake
Okay.
and for the case, but you did put in the letters
Okay.
where they had put Libby. So you want to speak
Yeah.
on that?
Yeah, I mean, he said that well, after they cut her the first time, this is about when and mind you that Keegan was walking up as this was taking place, but they took her to one of the barns. He mentioned something. He mentioned that it's where a rabbit, he had a couple rabbits, that and pets, I guess, in his barn, and he put her in there. It was in the tarp that she laid in there this whole time, and he kept making little sick jokes, man, like oh, she got to see her rabbit, I mean, just really just sickening. I mean, dude, his dude, when he gets in that mentality, like I said, he's a monster when he gets in that mentality. It's like a Jekyll and Hyde. It really was so bizarre. It was sad, but she sat in there all through the whole time, to when he left, when he came back, and when Abby stayed, with
You said that he had Abby in the house.
Yeah, Klein did. He stayed there. I don't know if he left or what, happened, but he definitely was there with her.
And you even directly asked Keegan if he did anything to Abby.
Yeah. I mean, it bothered me so bad. I was like, I didn't want to ask any questions. Just the spooking. But I was like, man, it bothered me so bad. I was like, did you do anything with her? He said, no, man, I didn't do anything with her. And I was looking at him like, yeah, right, man. He said, no, I really didn't. I didn't do anything with her. I'm like, dude, I don't believe that. But I mean, it just bothered me. So I just wanted to know. I just did. I just really wanted to know, man, because she sat here and witnessed all this as all this is happening.
Right.
So I mean, I was trying to.
Keegan is a piece of shit, and we underestimate Keegan Klein. He's a piece of shit, and he was a big part of this case, guys, for real.
Imagine what that girl was going through.
And you said that Keegan had made jokes as well, didn't you?
As far as
When he was telling you that he had gotten Libby to send him some pictures.
Oh yeah, he said that she's got pictures of her, and he was like, well, hell, he said I wouldn't be able to sell them ones. I mean, stuff like that, making fun of her because of what she looked like, And he was like, well, I figure I could probably do something with them though, at least, stuff like that. But sitting here making fun of this girl, saying that he got pictures, but hell, I ain't gonna be able to send them to nobody,
Now, did he ever?
Fucking Keegan Klein, for real, makes me mad. Piece of shit.
Did he ever say, like, when the subpoenas came out and
You have 1 minute remaining.
when the subpoenas came out, did he ever say anything to you like, "What's up, man? Like, are you telling on me?"
Want me to call you back?
Yeah, you can call me back. Hey, give me like 5 minutes so I can catch up on this chat thing here real quick. Give me like 5 minutes and call me back, okay? All right. Thank you. Bye. Is everybody still there?
I'm here. We need to get that dude out of prison. He's a national treasure.
But she's exaggerating. It's not a national treasure, but this guy needs to be protected, for sure. I think he's in danger.
Should ask him if he wants to address his ex going around saying they made up the Ron Logan story. I will have him address that. And
ask him if he's been talking to Green.
He actually gave me her number. I will. He actually gave me her number because he doesn't believe that she said that.
Yeah, that dude who said that she said that, he
So
is a douche canoe.
he does
Like
not
a
believe
twat
that she
waffle.
said that.
I don't think that that person has the brain power to figure out how to find that person. Like 3 brain cells left. They're all fucking fighting each other.
Well, apparently now I feel
I think he's gonna call one more time, and that's when Keegan Klein is gonna talk about the sticks and stuff like that, witchcraft. So let's wait a little bit here.
and he's not going to know because he doesn't know. He doesn't know if both the girls had a phone. But at one point, Libby's phone was taken from her, and he doesn't know what they did. So, but I've asked him if both the girls had a phone, and he said he didn't know, but he knows that Libby did because she was caught with it. So, does anybody? I'm sorry, I'm trying to scroll through here. If you guys have a question that you want me to ask, go ahead and post it again, and I'll try to get to them. He probably has one more phone call left. Somebody asked when he has count. He already had count this evening. His count was over at 7:30. And when they go into count, I think later on tonight, they turn the phones off.
Have you gotten all the super chats, questions, statements?
No, and you know what, Cherie, you can go through and you can pop them up there now. You have the ability to do that.
I don't think I don't know.
I know.
how.
Thank you guys so much. You just run your mouse over their name, and it will say show or hide. So let me see here. We've got ACV. Thank you for the $19.99. We are praying for justice. Truth Seeker, thank you for stepping up tonight and helping out modding. Thanks to all of my mods, by the way. Michelle N gifted 20 case-by-case memberships. Thank you for that. By the way, guys, next week I am going to probably when I do my live next weekend, it'll probably be a members only live. I am working on doing some stuff about the crime scene, and I'm trying really hard to get a crime scene or a blood spatter expert to come on. But we are going to review Sarah. Thank you so much for $100. My God, thank you,
Sarah.
But we are going to review other crime scene photos where individuals have similar injuries, and we're going to discuss them. So I don't want to do that live to where anybody can just pop on and see that. So it'll be in the members section only. So let me see here.
Julie, so are you saying that the person that I was talking about, it's like they have
It's coming
been
back soon.
manipulated by people that
A couple of minutes here, guys. They're gonna call back.
should not be manipulating people?
R&M, thank you so much for the $4.99, and I will ask him that question.
Can I just say,
because he has described
I love R&M. She's so pretty. She's so smart. I just like her so much.
I do too. R&M wants me to ask him, when did he see Ron switch from meek, mild to pervert, and what did it look like? So I'll ask him that. He's talked about that several times. And he actually made a really good analogy today when he was talking about their behaviors. And I was explaining.
I'm gonna put the speed and maybe 2 times speed until he's coming back. So give me just 1 second here, guys. Speed, let's say 175 until Ricci Davis is back.
To him that the public probably has a hard time seeing Keegan as being a violent offender because he's came across more of like the big fat boy who hides in the bedroom on a computer doing pervert stuff. And he said, anyone who's left their child with a babysitter or an individual who has sexually abused the child never thought they were capable of it either. And he said, that's what you see with these people. And he says Keegan is still in there trading stuff. They order stuff through the mail. They're pictures of young girls. He said he even described one as being young enough to have braces on. And I think they're closed, but he said that little network of people in there are still, he said he has a photo album and they trade and stuff in there with that shit.
Well, how is that like how are they able to do that in prison?
Well, I'm assuming what it sounded to me like what they're doing is they're ordering magazines and they're cutting out pictures.
Jesus Christ.
So yeah, but he
And then
said
what,
Keegan
just,
is all about the little kids.
Oh my God. Ugh.
Thank you, don't for the $4.99. You guys, thank you so much.
It's so gross. It's
Radar,
so
thank you
gross.
for the $9.99. Thank you. Well, I hope that you guys are kind of getting a good impression of the kind of person that he is. And I think everybody can understand now why when I say I believe him, I believe the things that I believe that he was told these things. And there's a lot of things that, about the story that really do add up.
Yeah.
That, having Libby on a tarp behind a rabbit cage in the barn. And I even reached out to Robert McDonald today, asking her about that. And when he's done calling in, I'll pull that up, what she responded to me. But she did confirm. Yeah, she did. She responded and she confirmed that he had rabbit cages in the barn. And I asked her, could she describe how they were situated? Because Ricci had said that Libby was put on a tarp behind the rabbit cage while all they were out searching. They were panicking because they wanted to get the girls off the property. But when Ron came back and lost the roads that were shut down, and he had to bypass, the police to get back home. So, but they were up all night, and the girls were not put where they were put until right, before they broke.
Can you imagine how scared they were throughout the night? Those things are fucking weird and crazy and scary. And like, I mean, that like Keegan Klein is a fucking mouth breather and he smells bad. And that was like the last thing that those little girls saw. It's just sad.
Julie Melvin, the Mark Kurtz thing, I don't know what I've not heard good things about Mark Kurtz. And I know that Ashley Garth's stepdad, Kevin, who was on last week, brought him up a little bit and said that, he's not a good guy. But I do know that Mark Kurtz and Ron Logan were good friends, which is how Garrett Kurtz came to be on that property, working with the animals and riding 4-wheelers and becoming familiar with the trails. And I want everybody to think about this. This is one thing that I wanted to say about this scenario that he was told. Who else besides Ron Logan would know those woods better than anybody? Who else besides Ron Logan would know where the trail cams are, would know the ins and the outs of the people that were coming and going searching, and how to access the places that needed to be accessed? And Ricci said the girls absolutely were taken across the creek. They were going straight back to Logan's. And Keegan, he said, was to meet them. And Ricci didn't know. He said something about a trail behind Ron's house. He could go to meet him. So Keegan was supposed to go through the woods. And he did. He met up with them.
There he is.
Yeah. Are you there? Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can now if you talk a little bit louder. Some people have been asking some questions.
Sure.
You have a question that says, when did you see Ron Logan make the switch from meek to a pervert? And what did it look like when he made that switch in front of you, when he was talking about things?
Well, it would be just like a perversion switch. He would come off of, he would just turn into a zone of just like thirsty, like he just really, I don't know if he loved it. He told me that, that it went too far at first, and, things in that nature. But when you really get talking to him, it's like either he's obsessed with it, you know what I mean, or it's just a type of perversion. I couldn't read him, man. It was just, it was the most unique, type of, I couldn't read him. I've just never been around anybody that just had that type of, switch in them, man. I'm not used to being around people like that, to that degree, to where I would sit there and communicate with them. I didn't understand it, so, I mean.
Did he ever act? Oh, I know what I wanted to ask you. You had said that Keegan told you that they actually came across the girls because Keegan's dad was friends with a family member of one of the girls, an aunt.
Right, yeah. I mean, right. I thought you meant like physically that day, but yeah.
No, prior to that day.
Right. Oh, right. You mean how they got, aware of who they were?
Mm-hmm. Did
Okay, yeah.
Did Ron Logan ever talk to you about a guy named Mark? Do you remember?
No. He never gave names. I'll be honest. I didn't know if these other two people ever existed. He always would say, buddies and stuff like that. I didn't know that they really.
I think she's asking about Mark Kurtz.
Existed. So Klein came on scene, and he was like, "Hey, I heard that you was friends with." I mean, I hate to say it, Charles, but I heard you was friends with Ron Logan. He said, "Is that true?" And when I told him, yeah, he was like, "Hey, if you don't mind, what else did he tell you?" And then he told me who he was. He said, "Did he ever mention me before to you?" And I mean, just started getting like almost grilling, and like grilling me, for and it was just, strange, and but I mean, but what'd you say? I'm sorry, I addressed it. But what did what?
No, that was it.
About Ron?
It was about the Mark. And let me see. I'm checking to see if anybody else had any questions. He never gave you names.
Never did. Never did. Really did.
So do you?
It just kind of fit together like. Okay.
Go ahead.
No, it just fit together like a puzzle. When Klein came on scene, then he started really just like wondering, saying that it was a good buddy of his, and he wondered what he said, all he told me. Did he ever bring his name up? Stuff like that. Then when he, eventually when he started, dropping pieces here and there, I realized, damn, dude, Ron Logan was really telling me the truth about these two buddies. I thought he was really trying to brush off the responsibility of what happened, just by trying to put certain things off on other people. But then it came all together. Like I about fell out. Like, oh my God, like, dude, this is.
What did?
It was telling me the truth.
What did Keegan, when you told Keegan that Ron had told you, what did Keegan say?
I mean, I vaguely told him that he told me. I ended up fishing with him. I was like, well, I said, he told me some. He said, he told you, didn't he? And I was like, I said, yeah, man, he told me. And he was like, man, and he just kind of had a look on his face. He said, I don't want you to look at me like, man, that was all on me. That's kind of how it started. And I was like, well, and I would never really tell him, what he told me, what he didn't tell me, and everything he told me was almost coincided perfectly with what he said. Besides some things, when it comes to choices, that was his decision. This was my decision. Those are the parts that changed, which really didn't matter at that point.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
you want to tell them what Keegan told you about when they put the girls where they put them and the staging?
That's really interesting to me. This part is interesting.
Yeah, after they, brought
Don't go into those details before that. Just go into the staging.
right. Okay, so when they got him to where they was going to be, it was Klein's idea that he said that because they couldn't get him off the property. I'm sorry, they couldn't get him off the property. There was too many cops and detectives and stuff. I got to throw that out there. So Ron was really getting. They moved him around. Moved the older one around. Okay, when they got him to the area, he told Ron, he said, "Man, if I staged the area, we could just make it look like it was some young punks, or something in that, in that nature." Okay, and he was like, "Just do what you could do." So Keegan's the one that staged it, and he said, "This is what he said." He said that he kind of made it as a witchcraft scene. He said that what he did was take the sticks, take the arms, because he said that he was familiar with witchcraft, Wicca, and stuff like that. He said that he positioned the arms of the older one with the sticks and made it look like it was a what do you call them, stars?
A pentagram.
Pentagram. Thank you. Made it look like a pentagram, but he was explaining it and drawing it out, and he said, "Look, and you would have to use the position of the arms to meet with the sticks to meet the whole pentagram." And he was like,
he drew it out for you?
Said what?
He drew it out for you?
Well, no, he drew it. He drew it on a notebook of his. At my door. That's all that's on camera.
Yeah, that's crazy. I don't think this is a crazy thing here. It's maybe plausible. It's maybe possible. Remember that Keegan Klein, he was an order of the minister. So when we talk about non-secular or secular stuff, I don't know. And I don't know, guys, if you watch the video I made about the 8 theories about the sticks, and one of the theories was witchcraft. So this theory is interesting. Or this statement, I wouldn't discard this at all. Sounds, I don't know. Sounds at least very interesting to me.
That's what's killing me, man. You know what I mean? That's what's killing me, man. I mean, like all this, like online stuff like that. Dude, this is all on camera. This is on. This bull crap's gonna go on so long about if I'm telling the truth or not, because the footage ain't gonna lie.
Mm-hmm.
So.
They
he stood at my door.
People. Okay, so I'm being asked. Remember that we discussed. Someone reached out to a friend or an ex-girlfriend of yours, and supposedly she said that you guys made up the Ron Logan story for the reward money. Do you want to address that?
Yeah, I absolutely do. Number one, I don't in a million years believe that was ever said.
You're right, Annalisette. And I think that, in my opinion, and maybe I'm wrong, but I think that wife Lilith, she has very interesting information regarding Keegan Klein, and I don't know, I don't remember if it was Mar R or Hiawatha, but there was this live or this show made by Noe, when he talks about wife Lilith and Keegan Klein, and apparently Keegan told wife Lilith that Ron Logan was close to Keegan's family. So that's interesting. Your comment is interesting in that sense. Hello, hello, Veronica. Let's come back. I think the interview is gonna come. It's gonna be ended very soon.
I don't know who said that. I don't know. And no, I'm no longer friends with this girl. Obviously, we're no longer in touch right now. But actually, the contact was like he don't want to reward money. He just wants somebody here to take it serious. That's why they jumped on my ass as soon as they got here. Said, well, that don't make no sense. What kind of, I mean, you're a prisoner. Why would somebody do something for nothing? Everybody always does something for something. That just don't make sense. So as a matter of fact, they would have to, the officer would have to actually testify if he told the truth. And I mean, I assume he would, I would hope he would, but the conversation was, why would you have somebody report that you wouldn't want it to go split with the families? Like, who would do that? That don't make sense. So actually, the facts of the setting would actually expose that I didn't want the money. Just give it to the families, because I knew they was building a park or something they were talking about. I said, just give it to them. I need somebody here taking this serious. This shit ain't no joke. But it made it more of a joke, to them, like, oh, that just don't make no sense. I mean, and it just, the facts are going to be in what they say, what it could be close. I mean, they came in here wondering, well, why would you have somebody say that? I'm the one that asked for the polygraph. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, bring a polygraph, bring, you know what I mean? It ain't about the money, bring a polygraph. I mean, somebody needs to get up here and hear what this guy's saying. And did, but I don't know. I don't believe anybody even talked to her. I really don't. I mean,
Well, they didn't give her name, and I think they contacted her on Facebook. I've not. I know you gave me her number to call her, but I haven't.
What?
I haven't
don't think
contacted her to question her about that.
The person who said that he contacted her, he's not very smart. So I believe you when you say I don't think that she said that. Sorry.
I don't. I absolutely don't. I mean, she's a pretty good girl, man. I just don't see her making that up. We didn't have a bad fallout or nothing. I don't believe she would even make something like that up on me. I just don't. I don't see that. I mean, shoot, everybody can call her together. I don't care. You know what I mean? I don't know what she's going to say, to be honest with you, but I definitely don't think she would go to that extreme and saying anything like that, because it wouldn't be true.
Well, I believe you over that person for sure.
Somebody had asked.
Have you ever spoken to Anthony Greeno?
Somebody else.
My guy Grino.
No, I've never spoken to him. He wanted to speak to me, but it got to the point to where he was offering money, and when he was offering money to me, I was really disinterested then, and he was like, and we kind of butted together, because he said, I want to hear about the goodies, and I mean, on a case like this, it pissed.
Just to say that, do you remember, guys, that I put that clip where Michael Catt is talking about his theory, where the perpetrator was scared when he was spotted by the Brad Weber's vehicle, which it implies that that was the white van. And Greeno, he was putting some comments in that video that, hey, Cryptex, please remove this video because I own Michael Scott channel. If you don't remove the video, I'm gonna report it. Your channel is gonna be taken down, something like that. That's weird. It looks like he's pushing some narrative there. I put the video down. Of course, I have it in private for future opportunities, let's say. I don't know. But I really don't know if Greeno, if he is the owner of the Michael Scott channel. So it's weird. It's weird. I still have the video for the future, but I don't know, guys, if you know if Greeno is the owner of the Michael Catt's channel, because for some reason he doesn't want to have that video online. You know what I mean? He doesn't want to have someone like me presenting that video about the white van. So that's weird.
Me off because there's nothing about this case that's goody goodies. You don't refer to this case and information from this type of case that, oh, I want to hear the goody goodies. There's nothing goody about this whole damn case. You know, it pissed me off. And you know, he offered money, I refused it. He can't produce anything ever. You know, I mean, I could produce my account. You know, he's never sent me money. I wouldn't take money from him. You know, and I mean, when he said that, I just lost interest ever even talking to him. I don't want to really talk to anybody. I mean, the only reason why I'm talking to Amy because she's had my best interest at heart through this whole process. And, you know, I mean, she's a good friend of mine. And, you know, and I know she's doing the right thing. The message has to get out there one way or the other.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, and I trust her with all my heart, you know. So.
Well, I think you're a national treasure, and I'm gonna. I think you should.
She's again with the national treasure for real. Come on. That's why sometimes we look like a joke here in this community. Just say that you have to be protected. Thank you for your for what you're doing here, but when you say things like that, the other side of the moon is gonna use that type of comments against you. You know.
I love you. I love you to death. So thank you for calling.
I do. That means a whole lot, you know. It does.
Well, I'm glad that we got to do this, and I'm glad that people got a chance to hear from you directly. It's one thing to hear it from me, but I felt like especially after when we hung up today, when you were upset, I was like, okay, maybe I need to let him come on here and, in his own words, say it, because it's a little bit more. There's a lot more truth to it coming from you than from me.
Sure. I mean, I understand. I do. I do. You know, it's heavy. You know, it's heavy. I just, and the main thing is, I just want people to really make some racket. You know, I want people to really get this figured out. I mean, you know, are we going to accept this? You know, from a lame prosecutor that's got full discretion to sit here and paint any picture he wants to paint to everybody, and it's going to be acceptable. You know, it's not acceptable. It's disgusting. I don't know what his point is. He's trying to use a predator as now to validate, you know, his credibility. You know, a murderer, a child murderer. You know, if something happened to our kids, do we want somebody like that to have this in his hands? Hell no. And I don't think that guy even needs to be in that seat. You know, I mean, that's for the people, for the voters and everything else. I mean, but the guy's disgusting. I don't know what he's hiding, but something's going on. Something's deep. You know, I've never, how do you have a prosecutor protecting a predator, a known predator, for one? And second of all, and I mean, this is what gets me more than anything, okay? I mean, just to kind of, you know, he's saying, oh, well, he lied, he's not credible. He hasn't even been up here to talk to me about the Keegan Klein situation. Nobody has. You know, so, I mean, you can't say somebody's credible or not on a situation, you know, when you haven't been up here to talk to me. You don't even know what I got to say about him besides what I wrote you. There's nothing, you can't say I'm credible or not. He's just throwing everything, he's swatting at flies, like I said. I mean, but it's disgusting, man. People need to ask questions.
Look how emotional he is and what he's saying. People need to ask questions. Awesome.
You know, this is crazy. You know, this is crazy.
Well, I mean, and I don't know how much time you have left, but I wanted to give you, I know that you've said some things to me before, and I'm sure that this is going to, you know, be one more pain to the families to hear this kind of stuff come out, regardless of what, you know, if they believe that they got the right man or not. Do you have something specific that you would like them to know, or would you like to say to the families if they heard you right now, in regards to the case, in regards to what you're doing?
Yeah, okay. You know, I mean, you know, I know this is just it's got to be pulled, you know, over and over, you know, and I know it don't feel good, and I know reliving it, it's got to be.
You have 1 minute remaining.
Talk louder.
It's got to be detrimental to be rehearing different things, you over and over. But is it about really the closure that you feel? You know, that's my thing. Or is it about the closure of the girls being able to get justice? There is a difference between the both. You know, them baby girls need justice. You know, everybody wants closure. Everybody's adopted them girls in their hearts. You know, everybody wants this stuff to end. But does it really end if they don't get justice? You know, it just has to be dealt with one way or the other.
Right.
So,
Well, hey, look, you're going to get cut off.
Praying for everybody.
We're going to get cut off. Call me tomorrow, okay?
Osbrook, take care. Yeah.
Osbrook, he says take care. All right, call me tomorrow.
Thank you.
Bye, Ricci.
Make sure you eat in the morning. Bye.
Okay, guys, that was the interview. Awesome interview that was made to Ricci Davis by Amy from Case by Case. I think this is a great document. This is the type of things we need to watch, to listen to, because again, if we stay with the comment that was made by Nick, that this guy was just someone who failed a polygraph in a miserable way, we're gonna stay with that. But when we listen to this guy, I think I don't know. I think sincerely that this guy is fully credible. He's solid, and maybe she's gonna interview Ricci Davis again. I think this guy is taking some risks by doing that, and I hope he's gonna be protected in some way. When you are a snitch, you are not placing yourself in a good position. So that's it, guys. I wanted to show this interview, this document that was really interesting in my opinion. It was cool to have you here, guys. I'm just gonna say bye to you, Annalisette, as usual. Great comments. Thank you for your presence, for being here. Mar, thank you for being here again. You're always fun and cool. Same thing to Don't Dox Me. And thank you again for your email. It was great. Kelt, Anonymous Podcast. You're a new viewer here, so glad to have you here. Veronica, thank you for showing up. Please hit the like, guys. Subscribe here if you're not subscribed. Christy, thank you for being here. Let's see who else was here. Digital, awesome viewer, awesome subscriber. I'm just moving my cursor. Anyways, all of you guys, awesome. Thank you for your presence, and stay in touch. Veronica, keep your put your comments in the comment section, and stay in touch, guys. Thank you for everything. Bye bye. Ciao.